Miguel.
Hello, Lil. How you doing?
Good. Thank you for doing this interview over Skype. It's exciting to see you again after meeting you in person in Santa Monica and just witnessing how you're still fully vibrant and alive even after your heart transplant and so many things that you had to go through, and here you are, alive and as loving as ever.
Well, I'm getting stronger by the day, and I feel better and better and better.
I want to talk about this part because we're going to go over the 4 agreements. I'm excited to have received the illustrated version, the 15-year anniversary edition. This is fantastic, Don Miguel. That means 15 years ago, you popped out this little baby that became New York Times bestseller and was on the list for over 7 years and sold millions and millions of copies. I mean, how extraordinary is that? 15 years later to see this baby coming out even more beautiful than ever.
Well, this baby already becomes a classic.
Yeah.
It's a book that will live for so many years, and it's being used in so many places. It's being used at school, recovery centers, in any kind of education, and for a lot of people. Many people come to me and they always say, "Oh, Miguel, your book saved my life. It really came to me in a very difficult time."
Yes.
And this is exactly the reason why this book exists, to be a support for everyone, to be a guide that anyone can find themselves in this book and find the solutions for whatever problem they have. It doesn't matter in what direction of life. Could be business, could be religion, could be relationship, could
health.
Any kind of
because we're talking about your health just a little bit ago, and one of the first agreement, I would like us to review the 4 agreements. You probably said it countless numbers of times, but I would love us to review them because they are so simple yet. You know, it's like there's some work to do. I shouldn't say that because I know one of the first agreement is to be impeccable with our words and watch what we say, and that's what you have done in your health. With your health, you're saying I'm getting better. You are using that impeccability, that first agreement every day in your life. You're an example of it.
Well, we can say with the word, we create what we call our identity. Is everything that we believe about ourselves, the way we wish to project ourselves with everybody else, the way we want everybody to perceive us. Then we use the word in order to create a whole reality that is virtual, of course, and is really our mind. It's about me, my creation. You know, that's why I say that we all are artists. We are creating all the time. Then we create our own identity, and this is what we believe we are. And we are not exactly that identity, but we are really the force who create that identity. And this is the power of the word. We use the word to give shape and really believe or not believe whatever we are perceiving. Then when we are impeccable with the word, we don't use the word against ourselves. Because when we use the word against ourselves is when we create all that drama in our life. And we can create a whole nightmare that looks like hell, feels like hell, but it's just really a dream, and it's our own creation. And even that perhaps looks like hell, still is perfect, because only perfection exists. Because whatever we create, whoever in any place on the world will be perfect. Perhaps we don't have the awareness of that, but we are always looking for that beauty, for that perception.
How do we deal with when inside we don't feel deserving or we don't feel like it's going to happen, and we have those negative thoughts and things that come up and that just say, it's not going to happen?
Well, this is because we use the word against ourselves.
Yeah.
We are the one who create all the barriers, all the limitations. We are the ones who reject ourselves before anybody else rejects us. Then we are the ones who create the whole drama. And we perceive our own creation, we perceive how we misuse the word, and that have emotional reactions. And we become a victim of our own creation. That's why to be impeccable with the word is extremely important, because if you use the word for your creation, then you will see that your creation will be so beautiful.
Self-respect, self-love.
Oh, definitely. You know, just looking yourself in the mirror, it doesn't matter how old you are. You can see a little baby or 80-year-old woman, and what you perceive always will be beauty. Always it will be beauty, because that's what we are. We are beauty. And you know, the changes of the body is so wonderful. You know, you see a little girl, 13 years old, a beautiful woman, 23, 24 years old, a woman in the 30s, the 40s, 50s, 60s. The beauty is a little different, but it's more refined in many ways. And that's what we perceive, and if we can perceive ourselves in that way, we are always accepting ourselves just the way we are. And this is to use the word impeccably.
And then the second one is don't take things personal. So whatever happens, we have to see this as this is the other person's projections.
Well, all that is because we have awareness. You know, the same way that we create our own reality, our own world, we have to be aware that everyone around us, they did exactly the same with their reality. They create their own world. And everything that happened in their world is because of them. Like everything that happened in our world is because of us. Then in your creation, you are the center of the universe. Whatever happened is because of you. And same thing with everybody around you. Everything that happened is because of them. Then they really don't know you. What they know about you is the way they perceive you. They perceive you, they qualify you, they judge you, they put you in a certain category in their world, and this is what they know about you.
But what would you say to somebody that has been raped and that has received really terrible trauma, and over life has shown this to be true, and they've been abused and abused and abused and abused in their life? What do you tell them?
Well, first of all, to be aware until what point is really their own creation. Because if they create a relationship that where they're going to be abused and abused and abused and abused, the solution will be simple. Just stay away. Don't be there. Love yourself enough and respect yourself enough that you make the choice to go away from that relationship. You don't need to be abused. But if you love to be abused, then stay there and enjoy to be abused. It's your choice anyway.
Yeah, because there's also, and I'm talking about this because there's a lot of emails that came through from people that are watching the interviews and the videos about emotional boundaries and how do I get self-respect, and how do I get, how I keep on being a victim in my life. People keep on being mad at me, and all these things, and I really do feel there's a lot of sensitive people out there. And we're all sensitive and all being abused in some ways.
Well, once that you have the awareness that you create your own reality by the use of the word. In your reality, it is based in self-respect, in self-love. You will find out that you are only responsible for your creation, not for the other's creation. Mm-hmm. Let's see that the whole thing is about a relationship. Mm-hmm. And you are the half of that relationship. And everybody else is responsible for the other half of the relationship. Mm-hmm. And we create so many relationships, but you always be responsible for your half, including the entire society is another half of the relationship, and you are the half of your half of the relationship. Then if you work in your part of the half of the relationship, and you respect yourself completely, that you love yourself completely, you never will allow that anybody come into your half and disturb your half, because you will defend your half. If somebody want to be in a relationship with you, they need, first of all, to respect you, to love you, to admire you. Otherwise, they will not be part of your relationship. Mm. And that's... you accept that. Mm-hmm. That is your creation. Mm-hmm.
I would like to refer to your book, Mastery of Love, that is great for that. You talk a lot about this in that book, and for anybody watching right now, there's another great book of Don Miguel Ruiz that is a must read, Mastery of Love. Yes, you're so good at speaking of the heart and relationships. This is so important. So precious.
Once that you have that awareness, and you really love and respect yourself, who can come and disrespect you?
Exactly.
No, you will not allow that to happen. And you know the abuse happens not just to women, also to men. Yes. The rape happens not just to women, also to men.
Very much so, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, women are stronger and stronger and acting as jerky as men can be. Yeah, it's just like there's no, yeah. I completely agree. There's a lot of men out there that are very sensible and that had received terrible abuse, mental abuse from women, and yes, there's a lot of healing that seems to need to take place on this earth. There wouldn't be all these conflicts, because really all we are is love.
Mm-hmm. Well, just think about all the men who go to jail. Almost everyone is being raped in jail, is being abused in jail. Just like they do with women, they do to men too.
Yep.
You know, in the past they go to war, there's only men. Well, there was a lot of rape too, for sure. And it's really about our own creation, about to be impeccable with the word, and to keep ourselves in certain place that we will not allow that anybody will cross those boundaries unless we allow them to do it. And that's a different story.
So how do we get to this place where we know that we deserve the best, which is part of the fourth agreement? You know, how do we get to this place where we can just always live that best scenario and just welcome the very best and live that great life in the flow at all time? I mean, how?
It is extremely simple. We are the ones who make everything complicated. If we just have the awareness that we've been trained since we were children, and we believe all those lies that come from our family, our school, our religion, our society, and we invest all our faith believing that all what we learn is the truth. Well, with these simple four agreements, that give us the power of the doubt. We can doubt what we believe, and without doubt, only what is true will survive. What is not true will disappear. And it's a slow process, but it was also a slow process to become what we believe we are. To create our entire identity, it was a very slow process. But with awareness, we can start shifting, and we can unlearn all those lies that we learn. Then that's why these simple four agreements is just the introduction of a new way of life, the way of life that I call the way of life of an artist, because we all are artists, and once we shift the point of view, we're no longer victims. We see whatever we perceive, looking or searching for beauty, and enjoying it, that beauty. And the way to do it is by trusting ourselves, to have faith in ourselves. That's the easy way.
This book is certainly one that, you know, had to pop out and had to come out and for people to see, because this is transformational matter. I remember this is one of the very first book I've ever read of this, of, you know, personal development or changes or consciousness or whatever you want to call it. This book literally popped out in the library, like if it was, you know, like light was coming out of it, and I had to take it and read it. So it's just there seems to be, you know, you were receptive to those ideas. I know you've learned this from the Toltec tradition, but they must have been, you know, I think that when we're living our life in a real way, ideas like this and information can come and emerge and come to us so that we can be kind of the hands and the feet of the universe. And give out a message to the earth that is at the right time, and, you know, and hence then you became New York Times bestseller. I mean, how awesome is this? A lot of people would love to have this burst this.
Well, we can say that this book is really universal. It goes for every single human being. It doesn't matter where they were born. It doesn't matter what language they speak. It doesn't matter what religion they follow, what philosophy, what way of life they have in their life. Because these simple four agreements, they come directly from the human integrity. And it's the same in every single human in this beautiful planet Earth. There is something that we all know already. But if we just know it is inside of us. But when you see it, you can see what is true and what is not true. Then the very first one, being impeccable with the word, is what really you can see that you are the artist, you are the creator, and you use the word to create. Not take anything personally. With that, you can see very simple that you live in your own creation and everybody else live in your own creation. But don't make any assumption. You can see that knowledge that we store in our brain, in certain point of our life, starts speaking in our head with a voice that nobody can hear but us. And that voice can have so many different tonalities. There's like 1,000 people talking at the same time and nobody's listening. We make hundreds, thousands of assumptions, and all that is just in our head. Is knowledge speaking, is the voice of knowledge.
How about those mystical experiences? Did you had some, and how do you explain that those come to us?
Well, the main one, it was like maybe 30 or 35 years ago, and it just happened in certain moment, in the middle of the night, in the desert, because I was doing my social service as a surgeon, as a medical doctor. And I walked out of the little clinic in Sonora, in the desert. And everything just happened in an instant, just like this. I see the stars, and it comes into my head that the light that I perceive for any of those stars, they come from hundreds or maybe millions of light years. And everyone, it was a different distance, different time when they sent the light. But in that given moment, I was perceiving all the light from all the stars at the same time. Then in that moment, all the concept of time and space just shift completely in my head. And it comes right away, oh, there's only one being that really exists and is alive. And is made by universes. And universe inside the universes and beside the universes and outside the universes. And I see my own body and I see it is a whole universe. I see the earth around and say, oh my God, it's alive. And I live on the earth and the earth creates my physical body. Then I see my hands and I knew it's made by cells. And every single cell is a whole universe and they are independent. And these cells is made by molecules, they're made by atoms, and everything is only one living being. Then I turn my face once again to the sky and I see the space in between the stars. And it was logical, it's not empty. Then in the Middle Ages, they talk about ether. Well, there's no ether, it's light. There is no empty spaces. Everything is filled by light and light going all the different directions. But we don't see anything in between the stars because there is no matter who reflects the light. But if we send a rocket, we will see the rocket because that will reflect light. Then everything just came to me right away. If I perceive all those stars in that given moment, even if they send that light in so many different light years, different distance, different directions, well, I knew without a doubt that all those stars were perceiving me. They perceived me as I perceived them. And there was no difference at all. And that force or that light in between the stars is a messenger. And the message is life. And it's light who take life to matter, and that life will modify matter. It was so simple. But after that, the problem was to put it in words. And to that anyone can understand the awareness that I have at that moment. And there was nothing else. It's extremely simple. Everything is trying to explain, trying to make sense. Then I see how beautiful it was just to be. And at the same moment, I see that everything I was doing, everything anyone is doing is completely irrelevant because our time in the physical body, in this earth, is very short. Even if we live 100 years, and if we live our life trying to please everybody else's point of view, try to behave the way they want us to do, we will miss the opportunity to enjoy every single moment. Because everything comes in the program that we have when we were conceived. In the moment of our conception, we receive that program, and this is the only thing that we can be. We cannot be anything else. And in that moment, I really lose my identity completely because it was completely irrelevant. And I also see that I am the one who creates a language, the one who stores knowledge, and just like everybody else. And without a doubt, I knew that I was everything and everything is me. I am the entire humanity. And the entire humanity is only one living being, is one big universe made by men and women. And there's nothing to be ashamed for being a human, to be an animal because we are animals. This is our home.
That we have been domesticated.
Exactly.
Tell us about 2012 a little bit, because just came back from your country, Mexico. I was there for a month. I met some amazing people in Mexico. I really felt that this is a pivotal country for the shift on the planet. I met with Mayans and went to Chichen Itza and all the beautiful pyramids, and I really feel there's a lot of corazón, huh? There's a lot of heart, there's a lot of great people there. Do you think Mexico What do you think Mexico's role is in all of this, in the shift in 2012? And
Well, it's the whole planet. It's not just Mexico. But from right now, Mexico is the excuse. Because really nothing will happen at the end of the Mayan calendar. It's just like the Y2K, nothing happened. Only something will happen if we all agree that something needs to happen. And what I've always been proposing is that the end of the Mayan calendar should mean the end of superstition, the end of fanaticism, the end of the dogmatism, and the beginning of the truth. And since this December 21st of 2011, we start doing a countdown. And I propose everybody to start working in themselves even stronger and to apply not just for agreements, but any other teachings like the Buddhism or whatever else to become better and better in our creation. And wherever I go, I asking everybody, please help me to change the world. And of course, I'm not talking about the planet Earth. I'm talking about the world that we create in our own head, our own personal world. And nobody else knows how to change it but the one who created. And we give the tools, but we are the ones who need to use it. And like we say, practice made the master. When we practice to create all our beliefs, and those beliefs are the ones who rule our life, then by doing exactly the opposite, we let go all those attachments, our life will become much better, and the benefit will be for ourselves. And of course, the ones who live around us, they notice that change, especially our beloved, our children, that we will leave to them a better legacy. Because they will learn from us not just what we say, but what we do. And if we are doing good, if we enjoy life, they will also enjoy life. And this is the future of humanity. Then December 22nd should be the first day of humanity.
of what? There was a little problem with the connection.
The first day of the new humanity.
This is so important, what you're saying right now. This is very, very precious. So you're seeing the birth of a new humanity based on those agreements and more.
Yes, we can say that December 22nd, 2012 can be seen as the birth of the new humanity, of a new beginning. And of course, this is just metaphoric, of course, it's not exactly true. But we can make it true if we agree and be a better person to have a better world for ourselves.
Awesome.
Also, by that time, we're going to do a special journey to Teotihuacan from the 18th to the 22nd this December. And we will do a big ceremony to say goodbye to the old cycle, 3,000 and something years, and to do the welcome to the very first day of the new humanity. Then please join us. We have two hotels, and then we'll
Sounds good, yeah. I'm probably going to be in Mexico on that day too, so we'll have to find a way to meet. Yeah. Yeah, there's a big event, I think, in Chichen Itza. There's a lot of things that are being heard, but it's not announced yet. But I'm excited to be around the Mayans and the ruins and the Ruiz. And the Ruizes. I guess your son will be here too?
Oh, yes. My three children will be there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. For anybody that is watching this interview and that has not read the Four Agreement, you have to get this. You have to get this version, especially because it's so beautiful. It's so beautifully illustrated. This is not a sale. We're not telling, spend your money. And this is like life changing. This is no kidding. It's a must read in one's life. And I also want to mention that it exists in ebook. So you go to Apple iTunes and now you can even download it and read it right away. This is awesome. I really want to thank you again for this moment, and for really just us connecting in this way and able to share this with all the people that will be watching this, and should it really help them in their life, and just, let's make an agreement that we're living on this amazing, magical, beautiful planet Earth, and we're all together in this.
Yes, because it's so important also to work on the earth
Yes.
to make life more livable.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Don Miguel.
You have all my love.
Love, you have all my love too. Thank you.
And God bless everyone.